Hi, this is Mel Hom. We're going to go over section 0.1 of XYZ homework, and I'll just go right to that screen. And remember that your problems that you will see are going to be very similar, or in some instances, you'll see the exact same question. But in general, since the problems are randomly generated, you will likely not see the exact same problems as I have, but something very similar. So I'll be going over section 0.1 of XYZ homework. So let me share the screen and go on over to that right now. So I'm bringing up XYZ homework right now. And here we are. So this is section 0.1. So you can see in the far left here, there's 20 questions. There usually tends to be somewhere between 15 and 20 questions. If there are word problems, there tends to be fewer, but roughly 20 questions for one particular homework assignment. Okay, so for question number 1 of 0.1, for the sentence below, write an equivalent expression in symbols, then choose the correct option from below. The product of 71 and x is less than 74. We're not asked to solve it, just translate it. Product means to multiply, so 71 times x. Well, all of these say 71 times x. And then it says less than 74. Less than would be this symbol. I'm going to click on this one and submit. And it shows that I got the answer correct. So we're ready for the next question. You need to click next question or jump over here for question 2. Click next question. Same kind of problem here. The product of 24 and p, so that's 24 times p, so it isn't the last one. So it could be any of these right now, the first 4, is greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to is either this one or this one. So it's either the second or the fourth one. And greater than or equal to what? The sum of p and 87, that's a plus. That's got to be this one. Product of 24 and p, 24 times p, greater than or equal to the sum. So we're adding p and 87. So I'm going to click on that and submit, and hopefully it's correct. And it is. Go on to the next one. 4 to the 4th power, you can just punch that in your calculator. So I've got a calculator handy, so I have a calculator. 4 raised to the 4th power, 4 to the 4th power, I get 256. So I'll just click 256. And let me just mention quickly for XYZ homework, the nice thing, the way I have it set up is if you get the answer wrong, let me intentionally type 255, submit, and that's wrong. So you can see graded me incorrect. These two were correct, but these is not. You can go back and try again, and as long as you eventually get the problem correct, it will mark you as correct. So now I'm going to go ahead and change it to 256, and it's correct. And notice I get full credit for it still. It doesn't keep the fact that I got it wrong. You could have gotten it wrong twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, as many times as you want. It will still mark it as correct. That's not going to be true for exams. For exams, each incorrect response, you'll be penalized. So you want to make sure you have as few incorrect for exams as possible. But for homework, you can have as many tries as you wish. Next one, 10 to the 5th power. Okay, so that's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. You might recall a shortcut is just put a 1 and then 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it said 10 to the 7th, I would just put a 1 and then 7 zeros and so on. So 100,000, and that's correct. 7 times 5 plus 8. So by order of operations, I do 5 plus 8, which is 13 first, and then I do 7 times 13. So I punch out 7 times 13, and it gives me 91. So the answer should be 91. And there we go. Okay, number 6. There's a little bit more work, so I'm going to switch over to doing the work on paper. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Every time I'm going to flip back and forth, it takes a few moments to do that. So you get me back here, and then I have to share screen again to my work on that. So just bear with me as I go through that process, and that will have to happen for a few times here. We got it here. Okay, so this was the problem. 11 plus 7 times 5 minus 2. We do 5 minus 2 first, which is 3. So we've got 11 plus 7 times 3, giving me 11 plus 21, and that gives me 32. So my answer is going to be 32 for this particular one. So take a while for all that. Go back to where I was. So 32. And record it as correct finally. Okay, 7. Let's see, I think we can do that in our heads. In parentheses, this is 6 times 3. And we know that 6 times 3 is 18. So let's go type in 18, and hopefully that's correct. And it is. All right, question 8, I have to move over again. So this long, big thing here, 126 minus 4 times 5 times 6 minus 1 plus 5. So let me try to stop that. Okay, so we're going to try to do that. Unfortunately, it takes a little while. So then over here. Okay, so here we are. 126 minus 4 times 5 times 6 minus 1 plus the 5. Do what's in parentheses first. So 5 times 6 is 30. 30 minus 1 is 29. Then I'm supposed to do multiplication next. So 126 minus 4 times 29 is 116. And now 126 minus 116 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. So maybe the correct answer ought to be 15. So let's see if I can go back and get that. It's unfortunately a little bit tedious here to get all that in. Okay, so let me try to type in 15 there. And there we go. Okay, next one, 12 squared minus 5 squared. 12 squared is 144. You can punch that in a calculator. Actually, some calculators you're allowed to just punch this all in. So it's 144 minus 25, which I'm getting as 119. So let's type in 119 there. Okay, this one I'm supposed to do the parentheses first. So 7 plus 4 is 11. So it's 11 squared. 11 times 11 is 121. And here we go. Okay, this one's kind of funny. So question 11. So let me share the screen on how that's going to work again. So go back to stop share here and try to get back the other version. All right, so it looks like this. 5 times 10 cubed plus 6 times 10 squared plus 7 times 10 plus 8. So I do all the exponents first. 10 cubed is 1,000, so 5 times 1,000. 6 times 100, 70, and 8. So this is 5,670, and 8. So if you add them all up, it's just 5,678. So let's go for that. And type that in. So 5,678. And there we go. Okay, next one, again, looks kind of complicated. So this whole thing, I've written it down already on paper. So let me show you the work on that. So switching back and forth is a little bit tedious, as you can tell. Okay, so it's this one. So I do this first inside the parentheses. So 4 times 11 is 44. 44 minus 42, and that just becomes 2. So we have 4 plus 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 plus 10 is 14, so it's 4 times 14, and that comes out to be 56. I'm going to try to type in 56 now. So back over here, 56. And it gives to me as correct. Okay, the next one's got quite a bit of stuff in it, so again, I'll have to switch screens for that one. So I'll go back to show you what I have on paper. Okay, so it went like this: 2 to the 4th plus 4 squared divided by 2 cubed minus 4 squared. So I do all the exponents. 16 is 2 to the 4th. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 4 squared, 4 times 4 is also 16. 2 cubed is 8. 2 times 2 times 2. 4 squared is 16. Then I do the division next. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So I have 16 plus 2 minus 16. Well, 16 minus 16 just cancels out as nothing. So the answer is just 2. So hopefully the answer is just 2. And let's try to get that in. Two. And there we go. Next one, 14, they give me a lot of stuff again. So let's try to get all that. So again, switch screens, which is always tedious. It takes a while to hit all the right buttons to make sure that you get this correct. Switch camera. Okay, so this is what it said. 9 squared plus 2 to the 4th divided by 4 squared plus 5 squared. Do all the exponents first. 9 squared is 81. 2 to the 4th is 16. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. Then 16 divided by 16 is 1. So I have 81 plus 1 plus 25. Punch that in your calculator. 107. So we're going to go for 107. And let's go back to XYZ homework. And see if we can type in 107. 107. And there we go. Okay, 15. This one, division, multiplication, just go from left to right. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So let's try 45. And there we go. This one, again, just go from left to right. 50 minus 6 is 44. 44 plus 9 is 53. So I believe the answer is 53. Let me type in 55 just for fun. Again, notice that it'll mark it as wrong. All of these are correct so far, but 16 is wrong. I can type in, 50, and it's still wrong, or just 5, and it's still wrong, but if I go ahead and type in 53, finally, it's correct. And notice in the far left column here, it doesn't record the mistakes, and I won't see that either. As long as you eventually get it correct, it'll mark it as full credit, which is a nice feature. Okay, 17, a little bit harder here. So we're trying to read a label here. How many cookies are there in the package? Okay, well, if we look over here in the fine print, as they say, serving size is considered 5 cookies, and it says there are 2 servings per container. All right, so if it's 5 cookies per serving, 2 servings, that's going to be 5 times 2, or 10. So 10 cookies. And then it says, if I paid 50 cents for the whole package, how much did each cookie cost? So it's 50 cents each divided by 10. So that's 5 cents each. And to write it as dollars, that would be 0.05. We'll type 0.05. Okay, then C. The calories is calories per serving. how many calories did I consume by eating the whole package of cookies? Well, let's see. You see here it's 210. Okay, so 210 calories per serving. And if I eat the whole package, that's 2 servings. So it's 210 times 2, which I come out to be 420. So 420. Finally, D. Suppose that while swimming, I burn 11 calories each minute. I swim for 20 minutes. So that's going to be 11 times 20, which comes out to be 220. Okay, so I burn 220 calories. Well, I burn enough calories to cancel out the calories by eating 5 cookies. So 5 cookies is 210 calories. So I added 210, I'm burning it off with 220. So that means the answer is yes. So they want me to type YES for the answer and submit, and they're correct. So notice if there's more than one part, there are 4 parts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could have gotten 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and so on. So we got them all correct. So we're good. Okay, question 18. Notice I can go to next question, or I can just jump down here. Question 18. All right, so if I drink a jolt, I get 100 milligrams of caffeine. A tab is 47, and so on. So they want to know how much caffeine do I consume in 3 6-packs. So 3 6-packs, 3 times 6 is 18. So I've taken 18 jolts. So 18 times 100 is 1800. Okay, 9 Coca-Colas plus 5 tabs. Okay, so each Coke is 45 and each tab is 47. Okay, so I'm going to switch over. I got 9 times 45 and then 5 times 47. So let me switch the screen again for that particular one. So just bear with me for one more time. Switch over. Screen share. Okay, so we had 9 times 45 plus 5 times 47. 9 times 45 is 405. 5 times 47 is 235. Add them up and it's 640. So we believe the answer is 640. So sorry, a lot of switching back and forth here. Back to XYZ homework. And type in 640, hopefully. And looks like we're correct. Okay, find the next number in the sequence 1, 4, 9, 16. Look at the pattern. 1 is just 1 squared or 1 times 1. 4 is 2 squared or 2 times 2. 9 is 3 squared, 3 times 3. 16 is 4 times 4. So we're guessing the next one is 5 times 5, which is 25. And here we go. And find the next number in the sequence. This is called a Fibonacci-like sequence. That means the way to get the next number, you add the 2 numbers before. So they give us 5 and 5. Notice how it goes. 5 plus 5 is 10. Then 5 plus 10 is 15. So you just add the 2 numbers before that. So the 2 numbers that I add up are 10 and 15, and that gives me 25. So it looks like we're going to say the answer is 25. And there we go. And that does it for 0.1. So it looks like we're all done for 0.1. And we're done with that entire section there. Okay, so that pretty much does it for section 0.1.